In recent years, Sony seemingly always found a way to one-up their E3 showcases. By now, they delivered 3 legendary press conferences, from the greatest trolling incident in video game history to the resurrection of Last Guardian, Shenmue and Final Fantasy VII, all the way to what I believe to be the greatest E3 showcase of all time back in 2016. Sony figured out a blueprint for brilliant E3 conferences that manages to keep worldwide media attention on them. But it's fair to say many left last year's E3 conference underwhelmed and maybe even a little bit disappointed. A lack of surprises and updates on already known games being the major reason. However, my gut tells me this year Sony could dominate E3 again. They have more than enough AAA exclusives to rapid fire incredible gameplay demos. Intermingle games like The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding with a few surprising high caliber announcements no one sees coming, and you have a recipe for another mind-blowing presentation, almost impossible to beat by everyone else. But what might some of these surprising announcements be? Enough talking, let's jump right into it. Here are 10 predictions for Sony's E3 2018 press conference. We know a new Fromsoftware game is on its way and ready for a major reveal at E3. At the same time, we really don't have a whole lot of information to draw any solid conclusions. Apart from a 20-second teaser trailer showing us just enough to keep the internet speculating in all possible directions, we have no information whatsoever. Die-hard Bloodborne fans like me are obviously hoping for a sequel. On the other hand, the Japanese scripture and dagger point towards older Fromsoftware IPs like Tenchu and Dark Tower, or maybe even a completely new IP. Whatever it is, it won't change the fact that Fromsoftware's game belongs to my most eagerly anticipated games. If we are indeed dealing with a Bloodborne 2, then it should go without saying that the game has to be revealed during Sony's conference. Since Demon's Souls and Bloodborne are PlayStation exclusives, one can't rule out the possibility to see a completely new PS4 exclusive made by Fromsoftware. Ultimately, I'm just guessing here. Fromsoftware has to reveal the game somewhere, so they might as well choose the company for whom they already made 2 acclaimed titles. Bloodborne was massively successful. In that regard, a sequel makes perfect sense. The question is whether fans will accept a sequel without the involvement of Hidetaka Miyazaki, who stated a couple of times that he wants to devote his creative energy to new endeavors. In 3 months we will know more.
So I'll ask you once again, Samurai. Do you surrender?
Sucker Punch is doing what fans urged Ubisoft to do for years. Feudal Japan is one of the most requested settings for the Assassin's Creed franchise. Even if Ubisoft is currently working on a new title set in Asia, chances are high we won't see it for a while. Ubisoft is doubling down on their games as a service approach, which demands long-lasting revenue from Assassin's Creed Origins in form of ongoing additional content. Fortunately, Sony intends to satisfy our demands. Much like Guerrilla Games, Sucker Punch is taking a break from a franchise they've been working on for almost a decade. Ghost of Tsushima promises a beautiful and vast open world steeped in Japanese culture and history. First revealed in October during Sony's Paris Games Week showcase, the trailer displayed a gripping atmosphere and aesthetic. This game is ready for a huge gameplay reveal. Hopefully Sucker Punch nails the visceral, fast-paced sword gameplay one would expect from such a title. I can't wait to see the game in action.
There've always been angels, there've always been demons, and there've always been at war.
Yet another prediction based on plenty of rumors. According to alleged insiders, Capcom is not only working on Devil May Cry 5, the game will also be a PS4 exclusive. Since we don't have official statements backing that claim, we should take such rumors with a grain of salt. At any rate, it's not out of the realm of possibility. After all, the series originated on PlayStation, and if Capcom is interested in an exclusive deal, Sony as the dominant platform is the obvious choice. It has been a while since the last Devil May Cry game. No matter if Devil May Cry 5 turns out to be a PlayStation exclusive or not, I'm sure many people would celebrate the return of Dante on a big stage. An extensive Last of Us Part 2 gameplay reveal in order to kick off or close Sony's conference is by far the safest bet. Let's not beat around the bush. It's the reveal everyone will be waiting for during Sony's showcase, because regardless of what will be shown, the legacy behind Naughty Dog's title makes it one of the major celebrities at this year's E3. Given Naughty Dog's pedigree as a developer who pushes PlayStation hardware to its limits, we can expect superb graphics embedded in an equally as ambitious presentation. It will be interesting to see if the gameplay demo also manages to impress people on a mechanical level and introduces enough new elements in order to surprise people in the same way the gameplay reveal for the first game did so many years ago. The Last of Us Part 2 enters E3 with sky-high expectations from a dedicated fanbase, that's for sure. But the last time Naughty Dog created a sequel to a newly established franchise, everyone was blown away by the massive quality jump. Hopefully we can expect a similar scenario in the case of Last of Us Part 2. After the tremendous success of the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, it was only a matter of time until the next popular PS1 darling received a proper makeover. A couple of weeks ago, Activision announced a remastered collection for the original Spyro trilogy, following the example set by Crash. Apparently, Sony negotiated a one-year timed exclusivity deal for the Crash Bandicoot remaster, so it only makes sense for a Spyro remaster trilogy to follow the same business model. In September, the Purple Firebug celebrates his 20-year anniversary. It certainly provides the perfect occasion for a glorious return to Insomniac's PS1 classic. Since the visual difference between the original Crash trilogy and the remaster was so impressively showcased in its first major reveal, the first Spyro trailer will surely follow the same pattern. I'll admit it might be wishful thinking, but it's not like a Demon's Souls remake is completely out of the question. Bluepoint Games has turned into Sony's personal remake and remaster machine. From the 10 games Bluepoint Games released thus far, 8 were remakes or remasters of PlayStation exclusives. Apparently the studio has already moved on to the next project, another remake of a classic game. Demon's Souls is the oldest game in the Souls franchise, which means it would profit enormously from the Shadow of the Colossus treatment. When I'm right and a Demon's Souls remake is actually being developed by Bluepoint, it's still questionable if the studio is ready for a first reveal so shortly after they finished their work on Shadow of the Colossus. If I don't get my Bloodborne sequel next E3, I would accept a Demon's Souls remake as an apology though. Arkham Knight released almost 3 years ago, so the reveal of Rocksteady's new project should be imminent. Given the exclusive content for PS4 in form of Arkham Knight Scarecrow DLC and Batman Arkham VR, Sony's E3 stage seems like the natural place for a reveal. Due to the fact that Rocksteady gained worldwide recognition for their video game translation of the Batman cosmos, the adaptation of another DC property is the most likely step. They have plenty of comic book material to choose from. I'm sure whatever the talented studio tackles next, it will further solidify Rocksteady's reputation as the developer who broke the curse of terrible superhero video games. Don't get me wrong, the Final Fantasy VII remake is still ways off. Don't expect to see a concrete release date or even a general release window. Nonetheless, now might be the right time to remind everyone that this game is moving along despite its far off release. The last time we saw a substantial amount of footage was in 2015. An update of some sort might be appropriate. Then again, maybe it's smarter to share something new once Square Enix can actually attach a confident release date to Final Fantasy VII. In that case, E3 2018 isn't the right time and place in all likelihood. Rockstar doesn't adhere to any traditional marketing strategy because games like GTA and Red Dead have become cultural events within the video game industry. There's no need to promote Red Dead Redemption 2 at E3. There are only a handful of games which can be regarded as a guaranteed financial success, and Red Dead is one of them. Publishers like Rockstar do their own thing and release new footage and information whenever they want. So it wouldn't be surprising if Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't show up. On the other hand, following Red Dead's reveal trailer, Sony announced a partnership with Rockstar, which includes first access to select online content. The PS4 also appears to be the leading development platform. Maybe Sony arranged some sort of deal regarding Red Dead 2's gameplay reveal for E3, who knows?
Where's our money?
Although the development of Death Stranding moves along faster than expected, it's safe to say that the game will be the last major piece for exclusives, possibly closing the generation. Even so, Hideo Kojima announced the game on Sony's stage, so he might as well reveal the next piece of the rather confusing and abstruse puzzle that is Death Stranding. Bizarre cutscenes are all fine and well, and they definitely make for some great analysis videos, but the most important question has yet to be answered. What type of game is lurking behind the crazy LSD trip we have seen so far? How does it play? Despite the fact I included Death Stranding in my prediction list, the game is still a long way from release. Kojima could deem it wiser to skip E3 and return with a gameplay reveal at the Game Awards in December. And that concludes my Sony predictions. Even if just half of them should turn out to be accurate, we are in for quite a show. Like every year, it's the conference I'm most looking forward to, mostly because of PlayStation's impressive quantity of amazing AAA exclusives. E3 2017 was more or less uneventful in terms of unexpected announcements. Hopefully Sony can rekindle the spirit of E3 2016. As always, thank you guys a lot for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel. During the next 2 weeks, prediction videos for Microsoft, Ubisoft, Bethesda and EA will follow. Whatever you do next, don't forget to praise the sun. Solea has pretty strict guidelines when it comes to sun praising, you know.